What are the pros and cons? How do you apply pine tar? Pine tar has been in existence since the days of the plundering and pilfering Vikings, who distilled the stuff in large quantities and used it to preserve their wooden ships. If it's potent enough to waterproof those vessels that sailed through the rough waters of the North Sea, it's surely good enough to protect your wood fence, deck, garden shed, barn, or home. To learn more about pine tar, we reached out to the folks at Earth and Flax and Sage Restoration, two North American companies that specialize in natural Scandinavian paints and wood finishes, as well as Emil Jesperin, co-founder of Danish-Norwegian architecture firm Jesperin Nordtvedt, who recently worked with pine tar on a project for a client. What is pine tar? Pine tar is a natural marine-grade wood preservative. Traditional pine tar was made by essentially cooking down pine stumps in fire pits to yield a syrupy, dark-colored and resin and turpentine-rich liquid. Today, most pine tar products are produced in kilns, using heat only. Post-Viking age, pine tar is primarily used as a finish for decks, fences, facades, and roofs in Scandinavian countries. But interest in the wood preservative is growing in the U.S. What's old is new again. People are looking for alternatives to modern chemical finishes, and architects are looking for something new to offer clients, says Michael Sinclair of Sage Restoration, which is based in Tamsworth, Ontario. Our sales have been increasing every year. Natalie von Erickson, founder of Philadelphia's Earth and Flax, agrees. This trend is going strong. Pine tar has been used with or in place of the traditional Japanese shoshugiban, burned or charred siding treatment, she says. The best aspects of pine tar is that it is sourced from nature, using a waste product from the timber industry, and it is an exceptional natural wood preservative. What can it be used on? Any bare wood, including plywood, that's exposed to the outdoors and needs to be weather and insect proof. You can apply pine tar to new wood, old wood, as well as pressure treated wood. It is primarily used on timber frame, cabin, and barn structures, but increasingly common for modern architectural designs as well, notes von Erickson, adding, someone would probably not use pine tar for Victorian or Greek revival. Not that it cannot be done, just that it would not follow typical aesthetics for those styles.
Well, I have learned, I don't know, but I learned so much.
Do you think it's finished?
I just didn't know that it even, how about I never even heard of it.
It's not finished, it's Scandinavian.
Right.
So they didn't use it here then.
Those ships went somewhere.
Well, right, but I'm saying like...
Pine tar was an ideal option for the summer house project that Jesperson worked on last year. The client wanted to experiment with different sustainable materials. And pine tar is a natural material that patinas nicely and that suits a summer house close to nature, he says.
It looks very nice.
And because pine tar has no petrochemicals and additives, it's a safe way to preserve the wood on raised vegetal beds.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
Pine tars come in different colors.
Do they?
Pine tar is sold in both unpigmented and pigmented versions, though colors available are limited to earth tones: brown, black, gray, dark green, and red. You're out of luck if what you want is a bright hue. Pigmented pine tars get their tint from oxide or earth pigments.
No white pine tar, in other words?
How do you apply pine tar?
Just like this.
If you hire a professional,
You're a fool.
look for painters who work more with heritage materials or emerging green building products, recommends Sinclair. Treating wood with pine tar is also DIY-able, particularly for smaller projects. But know that it's more difficult to work with than regular acrylic paint, and you have to follow instructions carefully. In cold weather, the tar dries very slowly, so it should be done in spring or summer. Even in summer, it takes a week or so to dry, so it's good to have in mind if there's pollen in the air that can stick to the facade. Our best advice is to experiment before applying.
That's what we're doing right now.
Below, a few more tips should you decide to go the DIY route. Mix pine tar with a thinner like purified linseed oil before application. Recommend
So
ratio
you
is
can
1 to 1.
apply it full strength then. That's
Note
cool.
that coverage can vary depending on the porousness of the wood. The older, drier, and rougher the wood, the less coverage. Apply pine tar to dry wood only, as it needs to soak into the wood. If wood is wet, it will remain on the surface. Do it on a dry, warm day, preferably 60 degrees Fahrenheit or warmer. If a cold day, warm the mixture in a pot on the stove. Oh, how could that possibly go wrong? Until it has the consistency of water. Use a wide brush for an even coat. Apply at least 2 coats. First coat should be completely dry before applying second coat. Dry time depends on the weather. What are the pros and cons? Pros. It's a natural, sustainable product. It provides a barrier against moisture. It deters insects and microorganisms. It lets wood breathe and prevents it from drying and cracking. It offers UV protection. It highlights the beauty of wood. Cons. It will need to be reapplied anywhere from 5 to 10 years. It has a campfire smell that can linger for months. It takes a long time to dry. In ideal conditions, dry time is generally in the 72-hour range, says Von Erickson. It's only available in matte earth tones. The end.
Good job. Beautiful.
Well, I got most of the pine tar on. We ran out of materials, so I'm gonna move to something else, but it looks real good and it's easy to use. I will say it's a pretty thin product and so it was running down my arm when I got above my head, but looks pretty good. Thanks for watching. See you guys in my next video. Bye.